Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today, we're diving into a story of relentless determination, unexpected alliances, and heart-wrenching emotional struggles. Prepare yourself for an in-depth journey into lives intertwined by love, loss, and shocking revelations. Let's begin with Lulu Spencer, whose heartbreak has deepened into a consuming fear that she may never see her daughter, Charlotte Cassadine, again. In a poignant moment, Lulu opens up to Dante Falconeri, expressing her doubts and despair. Each word she utters seems weighted by the days, weeks, and months spent without her daughter. Dante, determined to be her rock, reassures her that they'll do everything possible to bring Charlotte home. He reminds Lulu that hope, no matter how fragile, is the driving force behind their search. Their conversation brims with raw emotion, laying bare the profound connection that binds them. Lulu's worry is a testament to the lengths a parent will go for their child, and Dante's unwavering support shows how love can sustain even the most shattered souls. Meanwhile, the Quatermain mansion is a pressure cooker of emotions as Drew Quatermain confronts Michael Corinthos with a truth he can no longer avoid. Drew challenges Michael to reflect on Willow Corinthos' actions, questioning if her willingness to risk their marriage signals a love deeper than Michael has acknowledged. This confrontation forces Michael into an uncomfortable introspection, where he begins to grasp the depth of Willow's feelings for Drew. Tracy Quatermain adds her voice to the chaos, delivering a scathing critique of Drew, whom she views as an outsider meddling in family matters. "You'll never be one of us," she declares with cold finality, reinforcing the idea that the Quatermain family's loyalty is conditional and fragile. But beneath Tracy's harshness lies a protective instinct, one that will likely play a pivotal role as these entangled relationships unravel. Over at the Scorpio estate, Anna Devane, Max Scorpio, and Felicia Scorpio are hard at work piecing together the puzzle of Dex Heller's mysterious demise. Their brainstorming sessions are a masterclass in detective work, combining sharp instincts with years of experience. Every detail, no matter how small, is meticulously examined as they build a picture of what might have happened. Their investigation soon points toward the shadowy figure of Cyrus Renault, whose reputation for ruthlessness looms large. As they delve deeper, the possibility of a larger conspiracy emerges, raising the stakes. Time is of the essence, and the Scorpios know that one misstep could lead to more devastation. The tension here is electric, reminding us that even the most seasoned professionals are racing against forces they can't entirely predict. In another corner of Port Charles, Jocelyn Jacks finds herself on the verge of emotional collapse. Dex Heller's sudden death has left her reeling, struggling to process the loss of someone she shared a profound bond with. Unable to contain her emotions, Jocelyn escapes to the familiar footbridge, a place of solace and reflection. There, she encounters Jason Morgan, whose calm demeanor offers a momentary respite from her anguish. Through her tears, Jocelyn confides in Jason, grappling with the magnitude of her grief. "I don't think I'll ever let this go," she whispers, her voice trembling with heartbreak. Jason, in his steady way, reassures her that time will ease the pain, though even he knows words can only do so much. For Jocelyn, the love she shared with Dex was unlike anything she's experienced before, a connection that felt unshakable. This loss, so raw and profound, forces her to confront not just her grief but also her resilience. Can she find a way to move forward, or will this tragedy define her? Shifting to another intense scene, Willow Corinthos is locked in a battle of wills with Nina Reeves, who has planted the seed of doubt about Michael's intentions. Nina insists that Michael's power and influence make him a threat, warning Willow that the only way to protect her children is to act now. The tension escalates dramatically when Carly Spencer intervenes, refusing to let Nina and Willow leave with Wiley and Amelia Corinthos. Carly's fiery resolve clashes with Willow's newfound determination, leading to a heated exchange that brims with unspoken histories and unresolved conflicts. Willow's defiance in this moment marks a turning point, showcasing a strength she rarely allows herself to wield. The question remains, will she make the choice that secures her children's safety, or will the weight of the past pull her in another direction? Finally, Portia Robinson wrestles with a life-altering decision. After the series of grim events that have unfolded, she begins to question her place in the world of medicine. The idea of stepping back from patient care is both a relief and a burden, as it forces Portia to confront her identity beyond her career. This internal struggle brings Elizabeth Baldwin into sharper focus, as whispers of her potential role in Dex Heller's fate begin to circulate. Portia's contemplation offers a poignant exploration of professional burnout, personal accountability, and the sacrifices that come with serving others. It's a reminder that even heroes need to pause and reassess their paths. Next, we're unraveling another roller coaster evening in Port Charles, a story packed with suspense, unexpected generosity, and plenty of drama. Grab a cup of tea, settle in, and let's dive into this chaotic series of events. Ava's dinner disaster. At the upscale Port Charles Grill, the golden glow of chandeliers bathed the room in opulence, but for Ava Jerome and Rick Lansing, the evening was anything but glamorous. Seated at a prime corner table, the two had planned for an indulgent night of fine dining and champagne. However, when the bill arrived, an air of unease fell over them. Their confident smiles quickly faded as each of their credit cards, one after another, was declined. Ava, always quick on her feet, tried to maintain her composure, though a tinge of panic flashed in her eyes. The maitre d', a man whose stern demeanor seemed immune to charm, was less than amused. Crossing his arms, he leaned closer to the table and spoke with quiet authority. "Madam, if you cannot settle your bill, I'll have no choice but to notify the authorities." His words hung in the air, heavy with implication. Ava, refusing to let the situation spiral further, offered her best placating smile. "There's no need for that," she said smoothly. "We've reached out to someone, and they'll be here any moment. We're certainly not the dine and dash type." Despite her confident tone, Rick shifted uncomfortably in his seat, his frown deepening. "This is humiliating," Rick muttered under his breath, shooting Ava a sharp glance. "Do you even know what's going on with your accounts?" His voice carried a mix of frustration and accusation. Ava bristled but refused to engage in his blame game. Just as the tension threatened to boil over, Lucas Jones strode into the restaurant. Spotting the pair, his expression shifted from mild amusement to exasperation as he approached their table. "What's going on here?" he asked, his tone flat, though his eyes flicked to the maitre d' for confirmation of the situation. Ava's face lit up with relief. "Lucas! You made it," she said, her voice tinged with gratitude. "We're having a bit of a financial hiccup, and it seems our cards aren't cooperating tonight." She paused, gauging his reaction before adding, "Would you mind helping us out? Just this once?" Lucas raised an eyebrow, clearly skeptical. "You called me to bail you out of a dinner bill?" he asked, incredulous. After a moment's hesitation, he pulled out his wallet and handed his card to the maitre d'. "Fine. Let's get this over with." The maitre d', visibly pleased, processed the payment and returned with a curt nod. "Your card was accepted. Thank you for resolving the matter promptly." Ava exhaled audibly, turning to Lucas with a look of genuine appreciation. "Thank you for dropping everything to help. I know you probably had better plans for tonight." Lucas crossed his arms, leaning slightly against the edge of the table. "Let's be real, you didn't call me first, did you?" he asked, his voice laced with dry humor. Ava hesitated, then gave a sheepish shrug. "No," she admitted, "but you were the only one who answered." Rick, who had been silent during the exchange, leaned back in his chair with a smirk. "Her accounts are probably frozen because of a bounced check," he said, his tone biting. Ava shot him a glare that could cut glass, but Lucas ignored the comment entirely, asking instead for a menu and a bottle of champagne. "Well, I didn't eat yet," Lucas said, taking a seat. "Might as well make this worth my while." Ava invited him to stay, though Lucas made it clear he wasn't exactly thrilled to play the role of a third wheel. As the maitre d' returned with another menu and the champagne, Ava leaned in and promised, "I'll pay you back as soon as my business manager sorts out whatever's happening with my accounts." "You have my word." Lucas waved her off, already skimming the menu. Let's just get through this dinner without any more surprises. Snooping at Windmere. Across town, the eerie silhouette of Windmere Castle loomed against the inky night sky. The sprawling estate, once alive with activity, now sat in silence, its grand halls cloaked in darkness. But inside, someone was stirring. The faint creak of a floorboard echoed through the stillness as Lulu Spencer moved carefully through the mansion, her flashlight cutting through the shadows. Her heart raced as she searched for clues, her every step calculated to avoid drawing attention. Suddenly, the shrill wail of an alarm shattered the quiet, piercing through the estate and alerting the authorities. Within moments, red and blue lights illuminated the grounds as police cars pulled up to the property. Dante Falconeri arrived with a team of officers, their flashlights slicing through the darkness as they entered the mansion. "Stay alert," Dante instructed, his voice low but commanding. He moved ahead of the group, his years of experience guiding his every step. The officers fanned out, sweeping each room systematically until one of them called out, "Over here." Dante rounded the corner and stopped short, his flashlight revealing none other than Lulu, frozen mid-snoop. Her eyes widened as their beams landed on her, though she quickly tried to mask her surprise with an awkward smile. "Dante," she said, her voice light and casual, "what are you doing here?" Dante lowered his flashlight, crossing his arms. "I should be asking you that," he replied, his tone equal parts annoyed and concerned. "What are you doing sneaking around Windmere in the middle of the night?" Lulu hesitated, clearly weighing her options. "I thought I might find something here," she admitted after a beat. "Something that could help us figure out what's going on with Charlotte." Dante sighed, his frustration evident. "Lulu, I get it. I do. But breaking into Windmere isn't the way to go about this." He motioned for the officers to stand down. "I'll handle this. You all can head back to the station." The officers exchanged uncertain glances but obeyed, leaving Dante and Lulu alone in the dimly lit hallway. "You can't keep doing this," Dante said, his voice softer now. "Let me help you. We'll figure this out together." Lulu's expression softened, though the determination in her eyes remained. "I can't just sit around and wait, Dante," she said. "Charlotte is out there somewhere, and I need to do everything I can to bring her home." Dante reached out, placing a reassuring hand on her shoulder. "And you will. But not like this. Trust me, Lulu. We'll find her." Next, we're exploring a powerful story of love, loss, and hope as two people navigate the emotional minefield of their past and uncertain future. Let's dive into this heart-wrenching chapter of Lulu and Dante's journey. A search for clues and closure. In the dimly lit halls of Windmere, Lulu Spencer stood alone, her hands resting on the edge of a dusty table as she tried to steady herself. The grandeur of the Cassadine estate had always felt imposing, but tonight, it felt hollow, like a mausoleum of memories she desperately sought to uncover. As Dante Falconeri approached her, his quiet footsteps echoed in the cavernous room. "What are you hoping to find here, Lulu?" Dante's voice was gentle but laced with concern. His flashlight cut through the shadows, illuminating the anguish on her face. She turned to him, her expression a mixture of determination and despair. "Something. Anything. Something Valentine and Charlotte might have left behind that could tell me where they are." Dante frowned, crossing his arms. "You know other people have lived here since Valentine and Charlotte. Their things could be long gone." "I know," Lulu said, her voice trembling. "But I've already searched the tunnels, and I found nothing. If I have to tear this place apart piece by piece, then I will." Dante sighed, understanding the fire in her eyes all too well. "Lulu, I know how hard it is to lose someone you love." Her gaze softened for a moment before her shoulders slumped, as if the weight of the past 4 years had finally caught up to her. "You must hate me," she whispered. Dante blinked, taken aback. "Hate you? Lulu, why would I ever hate you?" She avoided his eyes, her voice barely audible. "Because of Sam. Unspoken truths. The mention of Sam McCall hung in the air like a storm cloud. Dante's expression shifted, guilt flickering across his face. Lulu, I was going to tell you. He paused, running a hand through his hair. You woke up without any warning. I didn't have time to think or prepare for this. And when I saw you, all I could think about was how much I wanted to talk to you, to ask you questions, to tell you everything. But I didn't know where to start. Lulu nodded slowly, her lips curving into a bittersweet smile. I get it. You must have been overwhelmed. And honestly, I'm glad you didn't dump 4 years' worth of life on me all at once. My head was still spinning. If you'd told me about Sam then, I don't think I could have processed it. Her words seemed to relieve a small part of the burden Dante carried, but his voice remained low and somber. Sam loved me, Lulu. And Rocco, too. But she didn't do it for me or for him. That's just who she was, selfless, strong, always putting others first. Lulu studied him carefully, noticing how his expression softened when he spoke about Sam. There was a tenderness there, a love that hadn't faded despite her absence. You loved her, Lulu said quietly. I can see it in the way you talk about her. Dante hesitated before nodding. I did. I still do, in a way. But I'm also happy you're awake, Lulu. It's just hard balancing how grateful I am to have you back with losing her. I've been trying to keep it together for Rocco, but he stopped, exhaling sharply. Lulu stepped closer, her voice firm yet understanding. Dante, I know you and Rocco are grieving. I can't even imagine what my waking up cost Sam. But none of this is your fault. None of it. She placed a hand on his arm, grounding him. It was Valentine. He's the one who manipulated Charlotte and kept her away from her family. You did everything you could. Unearthing the past. Dante nodded, his expression conflicted but grateful for her words. Laura and Charlotte are close, he said after a moment. At least there's that. Charlotte hasn't been completely alone. I'm glad, Lulu replied, her voice soft. But it still feels like a part of me is missing without her. Without my home. Dante reached for her hand, squeezing it gently. We're both going through a lot right now. If tearing this place apart helps you find peace, I'm here for it. Let's do it together. Lulu gave him a watery smile, her resolve strengthening with his support. Together, they began to search the mansion, opening drawers, inspecting shelves, and rifling through abandoned corners of the estate. After what felt like hours, their efforts led them to a forgotten alcove in one of the upstairs rooms. Inside a small compartment, hidden behind a false panel, they discovered a wooden box emblazoned with the Cassadine crest. Lulu's breath caught as she opened the box. Inside were a few of Charlotte's old belongings, a tiny dress folded neatly, a pair of worn ballet slippers, and a small toy horse. Lulu's hand trembled as she picked up the horse, her voice breaking. I gave this to her. It was during one of those rare moments when I thought I might actually get through to her, to make her believe I loved her. I can't believe she just left it here. Dante crouched beside her, his voice steady and reassuring. Maybe she didn't leave it. Maybe she kept it here because it meant something to her. Maybe it still does. Lulu held the toy close, tears streaming down her face. For the first time in a long while, she felt a glimmer of hope, a tangible connection to her daughter. You think so? She asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Dante nodded. I know so. This is just the beginning, Lulu. We'll find her. I promise. What a powerful moment of vulnerability and determination. Thank you for joining me as we uncovered this emotional chapter in Lulu and Dante's story. What do you think the toy horse symbolizes for Charlotte? And will this clue lead them to her? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on the stories of Port Charles. Until next time, take care and hold on to hope.